Hello everyone and welcome back to Turner's Tutoring. We're doing our fourth read-through for chapters 13 to 16 of Disaster Squad Wildfire Rescue. Remember that we are using the bookmark strategy to track. So everything that I read, you're going to follow along above the bookmark. So let's go ahead and get started. Chapter 13, Evacuate. That siren is so loud, Jaden screamed as he covered his ears. I can't hear you, Leah screamed back. Evacuate, evacuate, a loud voice boomed through a speaker. Evacuate, now. Everyone in the tent hurried to clean up their workstations and evacuate. What's going on? Leela worried. Leela and Jaden put on their goggles and ran out of the tent. The smoke was getting thicker. Fire Chief Fran ran over to them. A new fire has sparked. It is too hard to contain, she said. Parts of the roads are blocked. You and your family need to evacuate. We have to get to the RV, Jaden said. Hurry, Fire Chief Fran said. If we don't leave now, we could all be trapped. The wind started to blow faster. Bam! Leela saw a giant tree branch slam into the outside of the tent. The sheet ripped in half. They could see the trees crackling and sparking flames. Branches fell to the ground. Leela grabbed a box full of finished kits and ran to the truck. Leela, we have to go, Jaden yelled. Leela tossed her box into the back of the truck. She held Jaden's hand as Fire Chief Fran guided them to the RV. The lights on the fire trucks changed from yellow to red. Sirens blared. Woo, woo, woo. There's so much smoke, Jaden cried. Don't let go, Leela said. We are almost there. Thick, black smoke filled the air. Flames sprang from the tops of the trees. Kids, get in the RV, Fire Chief Fran said, before she ran back to the tent. Where are Mom and Dad? Jaden worried. Leela pulled the door of the RV. The door is locked, she cried out. How? Jaden screamed. The sirens grew louder. The warning sounded again. Evacuate. Lucky jumped up and scratched at the window from the inside of the RV. Woof! Woof! Open the door, Lucky, Leela yelled. She's a dog, Jaden yelled back. Lucky pawed at the door handle again and again. The firefighters were climbing into their trucks. The tent was wrapped and packed. Trucks were driving away. We're trapped here, Leela cried when suddenly they heard click. Chapter 14, Traffic Jam. Lucky opened the door, Leela cheered. As she climbed into the RV, Jaden jumped in behind her. Lucky barked and wagged her long tail. What happened? Mom asked. Jaden and Leela turned to see Mom and Dad jumping into the RV. Mom pulled the door shut behind them. Everyone took off their masks and goggles. Lucky saved us, Jaden cheered. Smart dog, Dad smiled and started the engine. Where were you both? Leela worried. We were right behind you. I know it was scary, Mom said. Leela nodded. Tears dropped down her cheeks. Why do we need to evacuate? Jaden asked. Three major highways are closed because of fallen trees and large fires. We need to get out while we can still drive on the last open highway, Mom said. Everyone, buckle up. Dad steered down the road behind some of the fire trucks. Around them, trees burst into flames and smoke climbed into the air. Whoosh! Air tankers dumped more water over the trees. Behind the RV, some of the flames started to sizzle and get smaller. The flaming red trees were starting to turn black. Where will we go? Leela asked. To an emergency shelter, Mom said. Leela looked around. Her family was covered with gray ash from the fires. Mom handed out cold water to drink and wet cloths so everyone could wipe their faces. I'm still hungry, Jaden said as he opened a box of cookies. Leela looked at Jaden and giggled. What's so funny? He frowned. You have burnt leaves stuck in your hair, she said. Jaden shook his head from side to side. Crumpled leaves fell to the table. Uh-oh, Dad said after they'd been driving for a while. What's wrong? Mom asked. Ahead of their RV was a line of at least 100 cars. We're in a traffic jam, Dad sighed. Fire Chief Fran helped everyone get away from the fires, Mom said. Leah hugged Lucky. Her soft fur smelled of smoke. Lucky sneezed. As the RV slowly drove away from the fires, Leela saw the forest change from thick burning trees to piles of burnt wood. I think we are stuck here for a while, Dad said and parked the RV. It's so dark out, Jaden yawned. What time is it? After dinner time, Mom said as she stepped out of the RV to take pictures. The flash from her camera was bright. There were no street lights. The fire had stopped all the power. The only lights were brake lights from the cars ahead of them. I'm going to use my night vision goggles, Jaden said, pulling the straps around his head and turning on the blue light. Cool, I can see people getting out of their cars. Woof, woof. Lucky jumped at the door. What's wrong, Lucky? Leela asked. Leela, Jaden said, look at this. Chapter 15, The Deer Dilemma. What is it? Leela asked as she put on her night vision goggles. Jaden pointed out the window. 4 deer walked through a pile of burnt trees on the side of the road. They must be thirsty, Leela said as she ran to the door. We have to get them water. Hold on, Dad warned. Remember what happened the last time you went to help an animal before you had a plan? Jaden rubbed his injured arm. There's no fire here, Leela pointed out. The trees are all burned down. Beep, beep. The baby deer looked up at the sound of a car horn honking. Drivers up and down the street flashed their headlights as a fire truck drove past them. It was Fire Chief Fran and her team. Beep, beep. The baby deer turned its head from side to side, then ran down the road, away from its family. Oh no, the beeping scared the deer, Jaden cried. Lucky whimpered. The buckets, Leela remembered. We can use the buckets we got from the farm in Kansas. Maybe some clean water will draw them back. Mom nodded. Let's fill them with water and lay them in a small path. Dad turned on the hazard lights. Mom, Jaden, and Leela each poured water from the kitchen sink into a bucket and got out of the RV. They laid the buckets in a line on the side of the road before going back inside. The Jackson family watched as 3 deer came and drank from the buckets. "Little one, please come back," Leela whispered. The RV was quiet. "There," Lilo pointed. Jaden and Leela watched as the baby deer bounced toward the buckets. It tipped its head and drank water next to its family. "It came back," Jaden said. "Thank goodness there wasn't any fire and the deer were just thirsty. That could have been a disaster," Dad smiled. The Jackson family cheered. The buckets were a success. Chapter 16. Junior Firefighters. "Look," Dad said as he pulled up to the emergency shelter. Jaden, Leela, Lucky, and Mom yawned and stretched as they climbed out of the RV. It was almost 10 p.m., but they had managed to get a few hours of sleep while Dad drove. The air was smoky, but not as bad as in the forest. Leela looked up at the sky. She could see the stars. "Come on," Mom said. "It's just a quick stop to say goodbye to Fire Chief Fran." Up ahead was a big brick building with large doors. "You made it," said a familiar voice. Jaden and Leela turned to see Fire Chief Fran. "Come inside," Fire Chief Fran said. Inside was a kitchen, tables, chairs, beds, and even showers. People lined up to get safety kits. "We helped pack those," Jaden said proudly. Fire Chief Fran smiled. You packed 30 safety kits. You are both now junior firefighters with Cal Fire." She handed out badges. "So cool," Jaden said. "We can add these to our disaster squad kits," Leela smiled. "Great work, kiddos," Mom said. Lucky barked. Fire Chief Fran pinned a badge on Lucky's collar. "You were a great helper too." "What happens now?" Dad asked. Fire Chief Fran sighed. "We have more air tankers, trucks, and supplies coming. For now, remember to put out campfires and stay safe during a wildfire." Jaden and Leela waved goodbye as they climbed back into the RV to sleep for the night. "We did it!" Jaden cheered, jumping on the couch. Leela smiled. "I'm going to make my famous microwave s'mores. No fire needed." "Can we go to Laguna Beach tomorrow?" Jaden begged. "Why not?" Dad smiled. "It would be nice to have a break. This was one tough disaster," Mom said. "It sure was," Jaden said, pumping his fist in the air. Just then, Mom's phone rang. Everyone froze. "Hello?" Mom answered. "Oh, really? Category 2? We are on our way." Jaden and Leela looked at each other. "Disaster?" they said at the same time. "Jinx, double jinx, triple jinx." "Where are we headed?" Dad asked. "Texas," Mom said, getting into the driver's seat. "It's midnight there and homes are flooding. The Gulf Coast is getting ready for a hurricane." That is the end of Disaster Squad Wildfire Rescue. Thank you for joining me for this one. And if you guys missed the first 3 videos, be sure to go back and read the other ones and listen to them and follow along. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And if you think this has helped you with reading, please share it with your friends. Other than that, I wish you guys a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Have a great one.